us being a little late. We have a lot of business to take care of tonight, and we've been taking care of a lot of business downstairs. I want to welcome you to the Monday, December the 15th, 2025 meeting of the Rome City Commission. We begin every meeting with an invocation and pledge to the flag. Tonight I'm going to ask Commissioner Randy Quick if he will lead us in that.
If you will, please stand for a moment of prayer. Gracious and Heavenly Father God, as we gather in this room, in these chambers, for the closing of one chapter and the beginning of another, we pause in humble gratitude for the privilege of serving, for the trust that has been placed in us, and for every opportunity we have had to work for the good of others. We thank you for the wisdom you offered, the strength you provided, and the guidance that carried us through both calm and challenging days. Forgive us for any shortcomings, and bless the efforts made with sincerity and compassion. We commend to you the people we have served. May they continue to be guided by justice, protected by peace, and uplifted by hope. We bless those who now take up the work. Grant them clarity, courage, and integrity as they lead. Direct our hearts toward new purpose. Help us to carry the lessons learned with humility and grace. And may our future paths be marked by service, kindness, and continued desire to honor you in everything we do. For it's in your most holy and precious name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner. Mr. Clerk, if you will, call the roll.
Yes, sir. Mayor McDaniel.
Here.
Commissioner Bojo.
Here.
Brock. Here. Cochran.
Here.
Beeman.
Here.
Doss.
Here.
Quick.
Here.
Collins.
Here.
Robinson.
Here.
Thank you. You all received the minutes of the December 8th, 2025 meeting of the Commission. We will approve those by common consent. We have some registered guests tonight. We're going to change the order around a little bit tonight because tonight's a very special meeting of the Rome City Commission because we have two commissioners that this is their last meeting. And Commissioner Jamie Doss, who has been a member of the Rome City Commission for 32 years, and Commissioner Randy Quick, who is in his 8th year as a Rome City Commissioner. And I've known these gentlemen in the community more than just commissioners. I've served as president of Rome Rotary with them. I've known them in many capacities in the community. It has been an honor to serve them. And I'm going to ask first for John Bennett, former city manager of the city of Rome, if he would come forth. And John, you know the routine. Just
no, I really don't feel very comfortable here tonight, but and Sammy, you don't have anything to worry about, buddy. But I wanted to address the commission about Mr. Jamie Doss, and no reflection on you, Randy. I never served with you, but I think most people know that I served as city manager for 30 years, and I served with and worked with 33 different commissioners. And you were one of them too, Bill. And I wanted to just take a time to say one thing about Jamie, a couple of things about Jamie Doss. He is I wouldn't say that he's the best commissioner that I ever served with or worked with, but I would say I can't think of one that was any better. And that's no reflection on two of them that are sitting here. But Jamie was a great commissioner in my dealings with him. And he was humble, he was deliberate, he was courteous to the fellow commissioners, he was courteous to the staff, but he was also very courteous to the public that we worked with. He was a good listener. But I must say, there were times when we had meetings that we got kind of worried, and he tried our patience because the chairman or mayor would say, Mr. Doss, they'd be going calling a roll, and Jamie would just kind of sit there. And I'd look at him, and the other commissioners would start looking at him. He never wavered. He kept thinking. And he didn't vote till he decided what he was going to do. So, Jamie, I think I don't think we ever had to worry about you making a quick decision. I think Jamie has been a really good public servant for a number of years. He served his community well, and he served with a high degree of integrity. And I don't think anybody ever questioned him and what he was doing. So it was a pleasure and an honor for me to have served for him and to work with you, Jamie. And congratulations on making it. You're going to do just fine not being on that board, I can tell you.
We have two other former city commissioners back there, Ernie Smith and Wright Bagby. Wright didn't get enough of the city. He went to the county and served over there for a while. And I always thought he had good sense while he was here. And then he went to the county. But I can't get up and say something if you want me to. No. I know where your heart is. People that serve in these roles and serve like you guys did, you don't know what it's like until you're over here. And I'll say this to both of you. I've got a letter that Allison Waters sent that I'm going to read, and then we're going to get on about the business of the city. I think, Joe, you've got some things you're going to do. But Allison Waters, who is the chairperson of the Floyd County Board of Commissioners, sent a letter. It was written December the 12th, 2025, to Mayor Craig McDaniel of the Rome City Commission. Dear Mayor Craig McDaniel, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge and express sincere appreciation for Commissioners Doss and Quick, whose service to our community has set a standard of integrity, collaboration, and true public leadership. Throughout their tenure, both commissioners have consistently demonstrated commitment to listening to residents, engaging in thoughtful dialogue, and working constructively with colleagues, even on complex or challenging issues. Their cooperative approach to working with Floyd County has fostered trust, strengthened relationships, fortified our more than 30 joint agreements, and ensured that the needs of our community remain at the forefront of every decision. At a time when public service can often feel polarized, Commissioners Doss and Quick have shown that effective governance is built on respect, teamwork, and a shared vision for a stronger future. Their steady leadership, willingness to collaborate, and dedication to positive outcomes have made a meaningful difference in the quality of life for the people they serve. On behalf of the Floyd County Board of Commissioners, we recognize Commissioners Doss and Quick for their notable contributions and for embodying what it means to be true public servants. Rome and Floyd County are better because of their efforts. Sincerely, Allison Waters, Chair, Floyd County Board of Commissioners.
Mayor, if I could have just 1 minute, I would like to introduce my family, my wife Tracy, my oldest daughter Abby, my middle daughter Georgia, and my youngest daughter Natalie. Abby was in the world when I joined the City Commission 32 years ago. She was 2. We both do, honey. But what I wanted to say is my family sacrificed so I could serve the city. And so I missed a lot of ball games, and they really pulled the cart during that time. And I also wanted to not only thank John, but thank Wright and Ernie. Ernie Smith is in the back. Ernie and I, when I joined the commission, Ernie was on the commission at the time, and he is now the only surviving, other than myself, commissioner. And we had a great group, and so Ernie's one bookend. This commission is the other bookend. And I will say that integrity was always a priority with the Rome City Commission. And a motivation for me has always been that I love this city. I love it. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Commissioner, let me just say, you've been a role model for all of my 8 years, and your dedication has been an inspiration. And I want to tell you what I value your friendship. And to the staff of this city, it's an incredible group of people. To our police department, to our fire department, all of the people that put their lives on the line every day for our quality of life. I cherish each and every one of you, and I appreciate your service more than I could ever put into words today. It's been an honor to have this position. It's been an honor to work with the people I have had the privilege of working with. And I only wish God's richest blessings on this city for generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have just a small token of our appreciation, maybe something you can find a place to hang and think of us occasionally. We thought it was especially fitting. We know what a fan of the clock tower you are, and the time on the clock is 6:30. The time you start your service 2 times a month, every month for 8 years. So.
But wait, there's more for another commissioner.
Oh, that's awesome.
Randy, I would just say thank you and congratulations. that's hopefully something very meaningful to you. But from your city manager, just know that I've truly appreciated working with you in this capacity. So thank you again. Come on down, Jamie.
We also have a little something for you. Like Randy's, we've included your nameplates. Yours is a little bigger. We have a picture here we thought was especially related to you looking up at the City Commission chambers, where you spent 750 or so meetings over 32 years. We thought the little city seal there, and along with a round to it, was especially appropriate for you.
Would you like to explain to the audience the round to it?
So the round to it, this is the front and this is the back. And this is Rome's unofficial currency. And so when you go to someone and they say, well, when I get around to it. So
Now you have one.
there you go. I have lots around to it if anyone would like it.
Jamie, you served back in the old days when it was chairman pro tem, of course, mayor pro tem, mayor, and then just plain Jamie.
Thank you,
So,
Joe.
Thank you.
You didn't know, I've been a city commissioner almost half my life. So I believe Rome, Georgia, and it's been an honor to serve. Thank you.
Mayor, I know I wasn't supposed to say anything, but I served with Jamie almost half of my life. And I watched those little girls from the very first one he had. We went to GMA, all those trips, and we kept each other kids. And we come over a lot of road. We have traveled together and had great fun and learned a great deal, I thought. And those little three gentlemen sitting back in the back there, boy, if I could just tell the story. I learned from Ernie. He was here when I first got here, of course. And after Jamie come, and Jamie would come over and consult with me about being a servant for this city. And then it was the John Bennett and Wright Bagbear served under Wright as a commissioner and as a mayor. But it was old John Bennett that can't help but always talk about, because he brought myself up from a young man up to the time that he left here. And Jamie, we would always go in the conference together, me and him. We felt like we was I don't know, we just stuck together a great deal through a lot of ups and downs. And you was just always a great team player. You really was. I mean, I appreciate it.
Give me a hug. Appreciate you.
I never would have thought that me and him both grow to be old men sitting on this here commission. Ernie, he gives me hell about it to today. And but it's really been an honor to serve with you, Jamie, and it's also been an honor to serve with Randy more than you know. Randy, you was my mayor pro temp at the time I served as mayor, and we did a lot of good things together. And I appreciate you. But more than anything, those gentlemen back there sitting in the back of this room, if it had not been for them staying on me and making sure that I got those classes, making sure that such things that taught to me like etiquette and properness. When I first was going to GMA, I said, what kind of class is this, right? He said, well, you know how to fix your plate, set your silverware when you come back. I used to come in here when I came into this commission. If I wore a red suit, I wore red shoes. If I wore a blue suit, I wore blue shoes. It was such things that you just learn as you go along. And I didn't feel bad about not knowing all those things. Amy was right there with me. And it's sad to see you go. Not only been a great friend and been part of my family as well, I hope I've been part of yours.
Thank you so much.
I'm gonna miss you.
I'm going to miss you too.
Both of them. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to move forward. We have some more registered guests. Christy Minor. Christy, if you will, come to the podium and give us your name and your address, and you'll have 3 minutes.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners. My name is Christy Minor, and I live in Somerville Park. I want to address, I was just downstairs in the caucus meeting when some discussion came forward about the Rome Floyd Development Authority, and there was some representation of the intergovernmental contract, which I have emailed you a couple of times now, back on November 12th, and again just last Friday, December 12th. The section in question, I'm going to read directly what it says because it does not align with what you were just told downstairs. Section 3.2, the parties intend to equally fund the services to be provided by the authority for the first 3 years, not 5, and thereafter the funding shall shift to the authority on a self-sustaining basis, notwithstanding the foregoing, the city and county agreed to make up any shortfall. It was never intended to be an ongoing check. In fact, Section 3.4 says that you're supposed to be reviewing the annual budget of the Development Authority by the 1st of each December, a meeting in December anyway. So that's number one. Secondly, the mayor likes to bring up continuously that the Rome Floyd County Development Authority is a constitutional authority, which it is. However, the mayor seems to interpret that to mean that it gives license for them to run roughshod over the taxpayers of Rome and the Floyd County, and that is not the case. Finally, your council downstairs told you that they have reviewed the concerns that I believe were brought by Mr. Swinford last meeting. I was not able to attend the last meeting, but I did watch, that perhaps the meeting on August 27th was not legal and in violation of the Open Meetings Act, which apparently the council has reviewed and decided that that's not the case. I wish to read into the record an email that I received on Friday, December 5th at 3:12 p.m. from Kristen Settlemyer, Senior Assistant Attorney General. It reads, "Dear Ms. Minor, I hope you are doing well. Our office's Open Government Mediation Program is in receipt of your Open Meetings Act complaint against the Rome Floyd Development Authority. We will be opening a mediation for this complaint and sending a letter to the Development Authority's attorney, which you will receive a copy of. In the interim, please let me know if you have any questions or concerns." I have not yet received that letter, so I had not made it public because I wish to know the details. However, I think it's important to note that it was not dismissed outright. So, to conclude, if, as Mr. Doss says, that the integrity of this board is a priority, I would suggest that perhaps you may not want to blindly accept what your legal counsel tells you. Thank you very much.
Our next speaker is Barbara Pinson. If you will, come to the podium. Give us your name and address, please.
Seems repetitive, but I'm Barbara Pinson, and I live in West Rome. I need a point of order, please. I have 7 questions. They contain 136 words. Now, these questions will take up less than 2 minutes of my talking time. Therefore, I request that only the time I'm actually speaking be counted towards my 3-minute unit. That will allow you to have sufficient time to respond without taking up my 3 minutes of time. Okay? We clear? Is the Georgia Constitution applicable to the Rome City Commission? First question. Question number 2. How do y'all want to handle this? You going to respond, or how do you want me to handle this?
If you have questions, you can put them in writing, and we will answer you in writing.
Okay. I have them in writing. Is Georgia law applicable to the Rome City Commission? Are city ordinance applicable to the Rome City Commission? What should happen if the City Commission, in whole or in part, violates the Constitution, the laws of this state, and the city ordinances? Has the Rome City Commission followed the letter and spirit of the Georgia Constitution, the laws of this state, and the applicable city ordinances concerning its budget presentation and approval process thus far? Will the city law firm certify the budget and the budget process thus far? Will the city law firm certify that the budget and the budget process thus far meets all requirements under the Constitution, the laws of this state, and the local ordinances? What is the appropriate process to report violations of the Constitution, the laws of this state, and/or county ordinances by the City Commission? Now, I have one additional question. I'd like for this commission to tell us how many applicants were received for the Rome Floyd Planning Commission. That's on your agenda tonight. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Mark Swanson. Mark, if you will go to the podium, give us your name and address, please.
Just another point of order before we get started. So this commission is not going to answer any questions tonight of the public. Is that your position?
If you have questions of the commission, you can put them in writing, and we'll answer them in writing.
So you're not going to answer any questions tonight?
If you have questions, you can put them in writing, and we'll answer them in writing.
Okay, then I'm going to read the questions in, then I'm going to give you the list of questions afterwards.
Okay.
And you'll provide them to me in writing.
That works.
Okay. All right. Is the city manager of Rome currently being investigated by an outside third party? What is the investigation regarding? Has that investigation concluded? Wouldn't the prudent thing be to wait until the results of the investigation are completed before you give a glowing review and a raise? Will the complaint process be in accordance with all city ordinances? Is the City of Rome a city of ethics by the Georgia Municipal Association? Does the City of Rome have a written code of ethics that meets all requirements of the GMA City of Ethics? Is the City of Ethics compliant code of ethics available online? Is the City of Ethics compliant code of ethics available online? Those conclude my questions.
Thank you. That's the last registered guest that we have. We have no resolution. We have one item on first reading. We have a downtown sidewalk ordinance. Sammy or Joe?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, we mentioned this at our last meeting, and then it was reviewed in significant detail in caucus tonight. Both the current ordinance and the proposed changes were reviewed. A lot of pictures were shown, questions were asked. So that is ready for first reading tonight. And if that is acceptable, we'll do that and plan for a second reading and vote on at our next meeting, which I believe is January 12th.
Thank you. We do have a second reading tonight on the 2026 budget. As you recall, we met last Monday and talked about the 2026 budget. tonight is the second reading, and we'll do that in the form of a public hearing. I'll now open that public hearing. I'm going to call on Sammy Rich, our city manager, to open that up and discuss that budget. And then anyone that wants to speak regarding that budget is welcome to do so.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We did originally not intended to open a public hearing tonight, but it never hurts to seek more public input and comment. What I would add is the 26 budgets, and we do say budgets plural because there's a number of different funds that make up the Rome City budgets. And so as we discussed or have discussed throughout this process, it's been a lengthy process. I can't say enough good things about our finance director, Ms. Toni Reinhardt, and her staff. They've worked feverishly as our department heads to cobble together all the various and sundry elements that go together to create the document that is before you all tonight. As you heard earlier, the change, I would say, that has occurred since our draft process, I would simply point out, is found on page 10 of our budget under the intergovernmental, and that concerns economic development, where we did revise our request, the request from the Rome Fluid Development Authority, from $150,000. We have since reduced that by $75,000. And so, Mr. Mayor, that is really the only substantive change that we've had in this draft as we've gone through the process. And with that, I would be happy to take any questions.
Anyone have any questions about the 2026 budget? Anyone from the floor have any questions about the 2026 budget?
Because I wasn't able to say it at the budget hearing last week, I will say again, the Rome-Floyd County Development Authority should be getting $0 from this body or the county, and all three of the entities need to get on board with straightening up your contract, which you have not been compliant with, and I'm speaking specifically about the 2019 Intergovernmental Economic Development Contract, which you all know because I have been beating a dead horse and nobody is responding. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anyone else have any comments to make about the 2026 budget? I'll entertain a motion.
So move.
Have a motion from Commissioner Bojo, who chairs the Finance Committee.
A second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Mr. Clerk, call the roll.
Yes, sir. Commissioner Bojo?
Yes.
Rock?
Yes.
Cochran?
No.
Beeman?
No.
Doss?
Yes.
Quick?
Yes.
Collins?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Okay, we have nothing continued on first reading. We have 10 items on for public hearing tonight. And if you came for other items tonight, and you don't want to sit through all of this, and I see people who don't want to sit through this tonight. Been there, done that.
Thank y'all for coming.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, John.
Bye,
Thank you,
give me a
Wright.
minute.
Thank you, Ernie.
Thank you, Ryan.
Here, give me a hug.
Okay, Bryce, you got the floor.
Thank you, sir. Our first item for you this evening is an annexation request. It is A25-12-12 for the property at 203 Burnett Ferry Road, Floyd County Tax Parcel H13I-143. It's currently zoned community commercial. The request is to annex into the city. You see the property outline on your screen. It's on Burnett Ferry Road. There is no proposed change in use or zoning. This is a zoning map of the area. This blue line running down Burnett Ferry that comes off. That is the city limits currently. Everything on the other side of the road is inside the city. This is an establishment that was built long before the ULDC. You have the application itself. Picture looking in from the street. Looking further out Burnett Ferry. Up Presley Street off to the side. And interestingly enough, this is the first time someone's listed on an annexation request that the reason they want to annex into the city is because of property values. It's normally, trash pickup, school district, things of that nature. So this does come with a staff recommendation of approval and got unanimous approval from the Planning Commission. Thank you.
I now open the public hearing. Is anyone here to speak in favor of this request? Is anyone here to speak in opposition? I now close the public hearing, and I will entertain a motion.
Bryce, has there been any indication, I haven't heard any indication as to whether or not there will be any change of operation?
I am not aware of any.
Can we put that stipulation in a rezoning?
A rezoning, you can put use conditions on. I'm not sure about an annexation.
Well, annexation, is that a possibility, Mr. Attorney? To put a stipulation on an annexation?
So Bryce, this existing use of this property is a convenience store?
It is.
Do they have COAMs?
I do not know.
It's operating right now, just as,
It was operational the day I put the sign out, yes. The only thing I know about that is the day I put the sign out, whoever was running the store was surprised. Apparently, the property owner did not convey to the tenant that he was applied for annexation.
this won't change the use at all, and we aren't here to muddle the use. We're here just to say we want it in the city or not in the city.
Yes, sir. As you know, we do currently have a moratorium against gas stations and convenience stores, this being a convenience store.
By voting for it, we'd be going against the moratorium, wouldn't we?
It doesn't necessarily create another one, it just moves it from one jurisdiction to another. However, I will tell you that this one would be non-conforming under the new proposed ordinance, depending on how it's passed.
But it's non-conforming use now.
It is a non-conforming development, yes. It does not meet any of the setbacks, landscaping, you name it. So.
I'd like to make a motion to deny the application.
I'd like to second it.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Mr. Clerk, call the roll.
Sir. Commissioner Bojo?
Motion is to deny, correctly?
Yes.
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 Brock?
Yes.
Cochran?
Yes.
Beeman?
Yes.
Doss?
Yes.
Quick?
Yes.
Collins?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Okay, that motion to deny carries.
Our next item for you this evening is special use permit request 25-12-03 for the property at 7 Ross Street and 0 Ross Street, Floyd County tax parcels J130119 and J130121A. This is them outlined on your screen. We're just up the hill from 5 Points. These are 2 vacant lots. The request is for a special use permit for a duplex. Now, previously, you guys approved special use permits for this lot and this one, if I'm not mistaken, and there already exists an old duplex across the street. This is an older neighborhood, and used to it's much more common to have multiple housing types within a neighborhood. Zoning map of the area. The application itself. There's a site plan and some renderings that we're going to. That is how the units would fit on the property. Because the property has some interesting angles, this is an aerial view that the applicant provided. That is a rendering of what they could look like. Survey provided by the applicant. This is the pictures I took when I put the signs on the property. This does come with a staff recommendation of approval with a condition that at least one of the units face the road, which is consistent with the other development along the street, as you can see. And the Planning Commission voted to approve with that condition. Thank you.
I now open the public hearing. Is anyone here to speak in favor of this application? If you would give us your name and address. You have
Good
up to
evening, my
10
name is
minutes.
Brian Coyle of 3010 Honeysuckle Drive, Spring Hill, Tennessee. I'm the owner of 9 Ross Street and 15 Ross Street. Had the opportunity to possibly purchase 7 Ross Street, and at the time I said I'd be very well interested in it. Let me see if I can get also a duplex to be able to build on it. So at that time I submitted my application for 7 Ross Street and the 0 Ross Street property, which I also own. So was just, I think it's a great street for revitalization. It's got great views of downtown, so I thought I'd maximize as many units as I possibly could within that the view for the street.
Anyone else here to speak in favor of the request? Anyone here to speak in opposition? I now close the public hearing and entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion, we approve the request.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Mayor, only that didn't we consider this property once before? I remember a house burned on the property years ago.
You did consider one of the adjacent neighboring properties, so
Okay.
it probably would look familiar. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Does anyone need to abstain on this? I think we had,
Not this one.
not this one, okay.
Just a question about the owner. It's showing the owner on Nelson Vincent was on this application.
Yes. I have it under contract.
Okay, so you're not the owner, you have it under contract?
Yes.
Okay.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Well, Mr. Mayor, one question. Your motion was to approve. Did it include a condition?
No,
No conditions?
no condition.
Okay.
All right, motion and second. No other questions? Mr. Clerk, call the roll.
Commissioner Bojo?
Yes, yes.
Brock?
Yes.
Cochran? Yes. Beeman?
Yes.
Doss?
Yes.
Quick?
Yes.
Collins?
Yes?
Robinson?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, our next request, SUP 25-12-06 for the property at 1501 Gordon Avenue, Floyd County Tax Parcel J13P016, currently zoned high-density traditional residential. The request is a special use permit for a duplex. You see the property outline on your screen. It is actually one of the smaller properties inside the city. I'm told it used to contain a little neighborhood store. Most lots in this neighborhood average around 0.19, 0.2 acres. This is 0.05, and it's a corner lot. So adding a second unit to put in a duplex is interesting. There are quite a few challenges with it. So currently you're required to provide 2 off-street parking spaces per unit, so that would be 4 on this property. It would just about have to be pulling straight into a garage and 1 or 2 units above it. The applicant provided that, which shows that it would require multiple variances, reducing the front setbacks on each side to about 10 feet. This is the property as it currently sits. The applicant applied for variances to try and reduce those setbacks, and those were denied without prejudice. Basically, he couldn't show that the house or the duplex would even fit on there. This is looking around the neighborhood just to show you. That's a pad where the store reportedly used to be. There's a new home being constructed across the street. Another vacant lot that will have a house on it pretty soon. As I said, this did come with a staff recommendation of denial. We're just not confident it's possible, and the applicant provided no plans showing that it could be done. Planning Commission, let's see. Planning Commission was a split vote, which means no recommendation from them. Thank you.
All right, I will now open the public hearing. Is anyone here to speak in favor of this application? Is anyone here to speak in opposition? I now close the public hearing. I will entertain a motion.
I think with all the obstacles that this piece of property has, I'll make a motion to deny.
Second.
Is that with or without prejudice?
That's without prejudice. If he can figure out a way to make a miracle happen.
So I have a motion and a second to deny. Any other discussion? Mr. Clerk, call the roll.
Mayor, I will be abstaining this and the next four.
Okay.
These four.
Commissioner Block abstains. Mr. Clerk, call the roll.
Sir. Commissioner Bojo,
Yes.
Cochran,
Yes.
Beeman,
Yes.
Dawes,
Yes.
Quick,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
All right, the next three actually kind of go together. They're all the same developer and they all have the same outcome. It's SUP 25-12-09 for a special use permit for a duplex at 0 Branham Avenue, Floyd County Tax Parcel I-14W458A. This is the property outline on your screen. The next application will be the next property up, and the third will be the vacant lot behind it on Hardy. The applicant is seeking a special use permit to build a duplex on each of them. They're all currently vacant lots. At the Planning Commission meeting, he requested that they be withdrawn. However, the way the code reads, if the Planning Commission meeting has already been called to order, it has to come to you guys. Had he withdrawn it prior to the meeting starting, I would have taken it off your agenda. There's a site plan of what they would have looked like, or the layout. Is what that lot currently looks like. You've got sidewalks, a bus stop. You're within walking distance of an elementary school. This came with a staff recommendation of approval with a condition that at least one of the units face the road, but as I said, it was, the Planning Commission chose to deny without prejudice when he asked that it be withdrawn. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll now open the public hearing. Is anyone here to speak in favor of this application? Is anyone here to speak in opposition? I will now close the public hearing and entertain a motion.
Make a motion, we agree with the recommendation of denial without prejudice.
I second it.
Okay, have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Mr. Clerk, call the roll.
Are we voting on all three? With
Just
one at a time? Okay,
Item
thank you.
D. Item D, that's correct, Bryce?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're voting on item D only. So have a motion and a second, and call the roll.
Yes, sir. Commissioner Bojo,
Yes.
Cochran,
Yes.
Beeman,
Yes.
Dawes.
Yes.
Quick,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
The motion is denied. The motion is approved to deny. All right, Bryce?
Item E is SUP 25-12-10 for 0 Branham Avenue, Floyd County Tax Parcel I-14W458, which is the next lot north. Same request, exact same situation. Staff recommended approval with a condition that at least one unit face the road. He chose to withdraw at the Planning Commission. Planning Commission ultimately denied without prejudice.
I now open the public hearing. Is anyone here to speak in favor of this request? Anyone here to speak in opposition? Public hearing is closed. I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to deny based on the previous reason.
Have a motion to deny.
I'll second it.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
That without prejudice.
Without prejudice, yes.
Okay. Mr. Clerk, any discussion? Mr. Clerk, call the roll.
Commissioner Bojo,
Yes.
Cochran,
Yes.
Beeman,
Yes.
Dawes.
Yes.
Quick,
Yes.
Collins.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Item F
Motion
is
to deny carries.
Item F is SUP 25-12-11 for the property at 517 Hardy Avenue, Floyd County Tax Parcel I-14W355. This is the other side of the block. Once again, special use permit request for a duplex. Staff recommended approval with a condition that at least one unit faces the road. At the Planning Commission, the applicant withdrew or requested withdrawal, and the Planning Commission denied without prejudice.
I now open the public hearing. Is anyone here to speak in favor of this request? Anyone speak in opposition? I now close the public hearing. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to deny without prejudice.
Second it.
Yes, I have a motion and a second to deny. Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Commissioner Bojo,
Yes.
Cochran,
Yes.
Beeman,
Yes.
Dawes.
Yes.
Quick,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Our next item is Z25-12-02 for the property at 159 Addington Drive, Rome, Georgia, 30165, Floyd County Tax Parcel H12Z597. The request is to rezone from light industrial to suburban residential. This is coming off of Redmond Circle. It also barely touches the edge of Garden Lakes. As you can see further down towards Redmond Circle, there is quite a few light industrial uses. However, once you get past those, it does become residential. The applicant reportedly plans to subdivide and build some single-family homes. This is looking into the property as it currently sits. Looking further up the street. Across the street. One of the other homes. This does come with a staff recommendation of approval and unanimous approval from the Planning Commission. Thank you.
I now open the public hearing. Anyone here to speak in favor of this application? If you will, come to the podium and give us your name and address, please.
Trent Wade, 209 Pleasant Hope, Silver Creek. We just plan to, like you said, subdivide, build 3 1250 and 1250 square foot houses. That's pretty much it.
Anyone else here to speak in favor? Anyone speak in opposition? I now close the public hearing. I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Mr. Clark, call the roll.
Commissioner Bojo,
Yes.
Brock,
Yes.
Cochran.
Sorry. Yes.
Beeman,
Yes.
Dawes.
Yes.
Quick,
Yes.
Collins.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Our next item is Z25-12-04 for the property at 201 East 8th Street, Rome, Georgia, 30161, Floyd County Tax Parcel J14G024. It's currently zoned multifamily residential. The request is to rezone to neighborhood office commercial. This is in the East Rome Historic District. You have the YMCA is the big building across the road here. This has been a dentist office for most of my life. It's been my dentist since I grew teeth, and I'm 42, so I can vouch for that. There is no proposed change in use. It's always been a dentist office. This was discovered when the applicant wanted to get a building permit to do an addition on the back. His architect discovered it. We've already received plans for the addition. You can see a little bit of them here. It meets all the HPC requirements. We have no issues with it. These are some pictures provided by the applicant's architect. This is the back of the building, front of the building.
I actually built that building back in my younger days.
And it's still standing?
Still standing. Miracle.
And this did come with a staff recommendation of approval and unanimous approval from the Planning Commission.
I now open the public hearing. Is anyone here to speak in favor of the request? Anyone speak in opposition? I now close the public hearing. I'll entertain a motion.
A motion to approve?
I'll second.
Have a motion and second. Any discussion? Mr. Clerk, call the roll.
Commissioner Bojo?
Yes.
Brock?
Yes.
Cochran?
Yes.
Beeman?
Yes.
Doss?
Yes.
Quick?
Yes.
Collins?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Our next item for you, it is Z25-12-05. The request is to remove a condition that was previously placed on the property when it was rezoned a couple years ago. This is Dodd Boulevard and Highway 411, Floyd County tax parcels K15X027, J15W456, J15W455, and K15X021. The condition, when it was rezoned to multifamily, was that they would only have access to come, or to exit over here on Hobson Way. However, they also have frontage on Dodd Boulevard. I had to go back and watch the video on this, and at the time, there was a couple folks in opposition, namely the Montessori School and a nearby golf course. They were concerned about traffic from the proposed townhouse development going to Carrier Springs Road. That condition was placed so that they could have an entrance onto Dodd Boulevard, but not an exit. Commissioner Collins asked the question of, is this proper, or is there a better way? And I made the comment, well, ideally, that you would come to this little road here next to the Toyota dealership, and based on this little map I was looking at, or one just like it, I did not notice that there's a little strip of land here between the cul-de-sac and this property, so this property actually does not have road frontage on that road. So while, yes, it would be ideal to go to that red light, especially with this many units, unfortunately, that is not feasible under this plan. We cannot force the neighbor to let them cross their land. They've provided a traffic study and two possible options, full in and out or a possible left-only exit. One of the things that staff took into consideration is that we have about 2,500 new homes being built in this immediate area. And the comment was made, well, they don't all leave at the same time, and that's true. But even if only 25% leave, I mean, that's 700 plus people. So it's still adding a lot of cars to the road if they work a traditional day job. Staff recommended approval of at least of the left exit, and we're not going to fight it if y'all want to do the full exit. There are plans for both. Both have been studied by the fire marshal and the city engineering department. You guys have these in your packet. This is a layout of the proposed development. It is approximately 210 units. There was some debate at Planning Commission about some possible conditions on approval. However, the important thing to know is that they were generally in favor of giving some form of exit. Their only real debate was on possible conditions to put on that. This is looking into the entrance on Hobson Way, right by the hotels. Hobson Way is a great way to turn right out of it. It is not a great way to turn left. That is looking back down Hobson Way from 411. And from the Dodd Boulevard side, which is currently wooded. Planning Commission had a split vote on this one, so no recommendation from them. Thank you.
I now open the public hearing. Is anyone here to speak in favor of this request? If you will, go to the podium, give us your name and address.
Yes, my name is Darren Harden. My address is 230 Old Highway 41, Adairsville, Georgia, 30103. Yes, as Mr. Wood correctly told you, this is simply to add a left exit onto Dodd Boulevard. When this was originally brought to the council before, this was a concept plan, and there were 395 units at the time. It is now 219. That's a 44% reduction in the amount of units that will be put on this property. We have full set of development plans which were submitted to the city, and through that process with the engineering department and the fire marshal, what came about is a desire for a full access specifically from the fire marshal for egress reasons. Specifically, I don't know if you have read the letter that was provided to you in the packet, but I will read this to you. It is being proposed that there would only be an exit or ingress to the property, which we provided because that's what the stipulation said. I am recommending 2 full entry exit points for ingress and egress. The reason is very simple: evacuation. With over 200 dwelling units being proposed, if an evacuation were to be needed, there is a potential for delay in getting civilians out of the subdivision due to the bottleneck effect of hundreds of people trying to leave an exit point. Weather, for example, can affect ingress and egress. If both entry points are blocked, emergency services would be able to utilize the exits to gain access to the subdivision. I appreciate your attention to this matter and consideration for the need to have 2 full accesses into the proposed subdivision. That was from Chief Mary Catherine Chawning, Fire Marshal. So we simply are coming back to you guys to do what's right for a life safety situation. The traffic studies were provided as well, along with the full development plans, and the engineering department reviewed those and noted that that it improves the access to 411 by having the secondary access or egress point as well. I'm happy to answer any questions. I'm simply here asking for you guys to follow along with what happens in these processes of getting construction development plans approved.
Anyone else here speak in favor? Anyone here speak in opposition? If you would go to the podium and give us your name and address, please.
Hi, I'm Grant Miller at 2653 Cowrie Springs Road. I own and manage Cowrie Springs Country Club. I'm here to speak on behalf of the area. The concerns we brought last time were in regards to, again, traffic. And I want to note that there's a part of Dodd that's within the city limits, and then there's another part of Dodd that's in the county. Well, it goes from city to county at Cowrie Forest. And at that point, there are about 20-something driveways that open up onto Dodd. There's also a reduction in the sides of the roadway. So it goes from being on the city side with curbing and being a little bit wider, down to where you actually have cars parked on the edges of the roadway. You also have, in the way it's sized, you often have to stop and let another car pass you at that point on Dodd, because it's not really great for two-way traffic. So say we do allow more traffic on Dodd and we allow this, really if there needs to be anything, it does need to go back towards 411 somehow, but I don't see if we're allowing it all a free-for-all for in and out, I don't think it's going to be good for the school, because they have their traffic that's also going to be coming out of there most days of the week. Then you also look at the planning for Dodd. I've brought it up with several people within the city government. There are plans to eventually work on Dodd, but it's no time soon, is my understanding. I don't know, Sammy, if you know when any of that might be, because it keeps getting pushed back some. But there's a lot of work that road needs to be done. And I can go back and tell so much about Carrier Springs Road. I've been in county minutes going back to know that the road originally was called Farm Road prior to whatever it was before 1930. And they pretty much put up together a petition in 1940 and paved it. And it's similar to what it was back then, even now. So just to be able to talk about the traffic issues, we've talked about it with the other development, doing a three-way stop to help slow down traffic on Carrier. I don't know if that's actually going to happen either. So we're going to have people, and it's already being used as a pathway to go to downtown. It's a bypass. You said you go, instead of going 411, you cut Carrier Springs Road and you come on in the town. So again, 2,000 or so units, all are going to some way end up on Carrier. Dodd will feed to Carrier. And we have to keep in mind of the school and the residents on the other end of Dodd too. Because you have people backing out of their driveways directly onto Dodd. So you look at all 20-something driveways, there could be more of them. There's already that other housing development on there. You've got Carrier Forest and another one up from that. So anyway, I just would like to suggest we keep with the original plan, or maybe investigate some other ways to curb traffic or work on getting that part of Dodd to where it can sustain two-way traffic to go on to Carrier. But again, we already have a lot of traffic. But I would appreciate if you would consider all this. And I thank y'all for your time, and thank you for all you do.
Thank you, Grant. Anyone here else to speak in opposition? I now close the public hearing.
We should have some time for rebuttal.
Would you,
I don't know how much time that.
6 minutes, 30 seconds.
Darren, would you like to make any rebuttal? I'm sorry.
No, sir, I would just say that if there are driveways like what the gentleman is speaking about, I believe that those are much further down from actually where our entry point and exit point would be. And of course, these development plans will be approved by the City of Rome Engineering Department and will meet all the requirements.
Okay, I'll close the public hearing and I'll entertain a motion. But I have a question after we get the motion. I want to ask you a question after we get a motion to approve or deny.
I'll make a motion that we approve it, because I think most of the traffic coming out of there is going to be heading toward 411. There's very few people going to turn and go in the other direction, so I don't feel like that's going to create more of an issue. I think it's going to be.
Okay, I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
I second that.
I say I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I have a concern because there's no sidewalks, and there is a housing complex there, several, and a lot of people utilize the street area to get to Walmart, going to the convenience stores on Maple. So there is a lot of activity, walkable activity, but there's no sidewalks.
Darren, let me ask you a question.
Site plan would have to have that one. Site plan would have to have sidewalks, right?
Pardon?
Madison Bryce, the site plan would have to be including sidewalks, wouldn't it?
Only at their frontage.
How long ago has it been since you made the decision to reduce the number of units? And why did you make that decision? If you would go to the podium and answer that, if you don't mind.
The builder groups, sir, we made that decision about a year and a half ago when we started working with a builder group that wanted to develop this for townhouses, not apartments. Initially, it was thought that this would be for apartments, and that's not the case now.
Okay.
Also wanted to draw attention to the fact that it's really dark on Caggie Springs Road.
Pardon? I'm sorry. Any other comments? We have a motion and a second. Anybody else want to make a comment or ask a question before we call the vote? The motion is to approve. Mr. Clerk, call the roll.
Commissioner Bojo,
Yes.
Brock,
Yes.
Cochran,
Yes.
Beeman,
No.
Dawes,
No.
Quick,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes?
Robinson.
Yes.
Okay, so the motion carries.
And our last item for you this evening is file Z25-12-08 for the property at 0 Match Point Way. It's currently zoned community commercial. The request is to rezone to multifamily residential. Property is currently vacant. This is Floyd County Tax Parcel J12W001A2. It's approximately 38 acres in size. The app is shown on your screen there. It's between the tennis center and the mall. It's also just north of where the proposed ag center will go. That gentleman is seeking to construct an apartment complex, a mix of apartments and townhouses. I'm going to show you a site plan here in a second. It has access to the Armurchie connector. It's also close to Highway 27. It's also just shy of a mile via bike lane to the Eco Greenway Trail Network. This is one of those areas where we can actually afford density because we've got quite a bit of access, we've got the utilities, we've got space, and it's not really imposing on any established neighborhoods or anything. It's a great opportunity for redevelopment. You do have one conservation easement here, got a few bulls on it, I believe. The applicant will have access to Match Point Way, as well as he's reached an agreement with the mall to access the backside of the mall and their service road. This is the site plan. You see the larger apartment buildings up here towards the Armurchie connector. Then you get into townhouses. This shows the access to the mall service road. I'll zoom out a little more. The applicant agreed to move the buildings back from the property line. He has the high ground above the ag center and the conservation easement. Staff put a condition on it that we would ask that the mature vegetation along the southern border be kept, not just for the apartments, but for the ag center as well. This is a proposed layout of the ag center that will be next door. Is my time up?
Your time's up, right?
You can't leave yet, right?
There was discussion about a possible fence. This is what will be on the Ag Center property, something to this effect. I believe the applicant and the Ag Center have since reached some sort of an agreement, if I'm not mistaken. This is looking in from the old Dalton Road side. There is an old single-family house here. The applicants have chosen not to seek a vehicular access onto Old Dalton Road. That's looking towards the Armurchie connector, back towards the mall, directly across the street. This is the roundabout there on Match Point Way. This is looking up into where the proposed development would be. That's the roundabout. Here we're looking at the Armurchie connector. As I said, there's quite a bit of elevation on this property. It's looking over towards the hotel. This is where it flattens out on top of the property. You can see the trees in the background. This did come with a staff recommendation of approval with a couple of conditions that, as I said, that the mature vegetation be kept along that southern property line, preserved and maintained, and that any additional vegetation may be added as necessary to meet the visual opacity requirement of a buffer. That the proposed development adhere to the required side and rear setback and buffer requirements for multifamily developments within the MR district as required by Article 3.5.2 and 6.16, which is the buffer section. And there was also a condition that a 6 to 7 foot tall fence be constructed along that southern border. Thank you.
All right, I'll open the public hearing. Is anyone here to speak in favor of this request? If you will give us your name and address.
My name is Chuck Harden. I work for Southern Engineering and Surveying, 160 Three Rivers Drive. We are representing the developer and Berry College, the owner, in this development. As the staff report kind of explained in pretty good detail, we're looking at a mixed development with a combination of townhomes and apartment units there. Just like staff said, we think that's a great opportunity, perfect area for this residential development. The staff's recommendations, we're okay with all those. As the site plans show, we are proposing to leave a natural vegetative buffer there along those property lines, undisturbed, and even potentially some additional plantings on that area to provide the buffer. The one condition in question is the fence, the requested fence. The developer at this point in time is really not in agreement with the fence or in agreement with putting that fence in for a couple of reasons. The location, size, type, what the fence looks like, all those things at this point in time are really undefined, and it's actually kind of early in the game to even be able to define those things. The way the site plan is drawn and the way the topography on the property exists, and with the proposed grading of that property, there's a significant grade change that actually creates its own natural buffer between any of the adjoining properties and this development. There is anywhere from a 15 or 20 all the way to a 35-foot bank that will be graded on this apartment development that creates its own buffer. And the buildings are actually set back a pretty significant distance from the property lines as well. It's in its closest point, I think it's 50 or 55 feet from the property line to the nearest building, and most of the buildings that are higher, more stories, taller buildings are, in most cases, over 100 feet, all the way up to 180 feet from the adjoining property line. So for those reasons, the developer's asking respectively if the final condition on the rezoning to add a fence be removed. The developer and the county, the Ag Center, has been in conversation. I think they're continuing to talk to come up with an agreement or some kind of common ground on a fence between the two properties. But at this point in time, just where that fence needs to go and how it's constructed, and the size, we're not really in favor of putting it within the natural undisturbed buffer, which you would have to disturb to put the fence in, along the property line. So maybe a fence somewhere else. But at this point in time, we're just asking if it would be, the best solution would be to eliminate that condition if it's at all possible. If you got any questions, we'll be glad to answer them.
Anyone else here to speak in favor? Anyone here to speak in opposition? You will go to the podium and give us your name and address, please.
Hi, everyone. My name's Kate Harmon. So I'm the director for the Floyd County Agriculture Center. So I'm here to represent 255 3 Mile Road Northeast. And I'm here just to clarify, I'm not against the entire proposal, just like we've been talking about. We're working on this agreement with the fence. To me, the fence is a huge thing because it's about the safety of the citizens in Rome and in Floyd County. From day one, I've been all about safety and the design of this center. And I want everyone from the people that actually come to compete, to vendors, to the public that comes to watch events, everyone involved to be safe. And the reality is when you've got animals on a property and you've got residents right next door, if all it takes is for a small child, a college student, a high school kid that wants to go and mess with Cal to go through a little bit of woods and they don't have much of a deterrent, unfortunately, the reality is that that's hard to resist for some people. And we want to make sure that everyone's safe and having that fence being a deterrent along that entire southern border. Because not only is it the Ag Center and where our barns may be, and you're talking about, I think at the planning meeting I was telling them, say it's our Seven Hills Showdown that we had at the Coosa Valley Fairgrounds a couple of weeks ago. Our 4-H and FFA kids pour their hearts and souls into those animals, and in 2024 the average price of one of those show cattle was about $4,000. So even a small cattle show, you're looking at easily $250,000 in livestock in those barns overnight. If you're talking about a horse show, something like that, you're talking about an average of $20,000 to $200,000, and I know that's hard to say, per horse. So that could potentially be $4 million to $6 million in horse flesh there over a weekend. We need to make the commitment to keep those animals safe, to make sure that everyone in that area is safe, as well as their residents. We don't want them getting hurt. Not everybody is well versed in livestock, and unfortunately people make bad decisions, and we want to make sure that everyone is safe. You're talking about around 300 units, say potentially a third of those people have a dog. Well, that's a lot of potentially loose dogs, over 100 loose dogs that could come onto property with livestock right next door. And we have existing county and city ordinances about containment of pets. So we're asking you to consider those things. As far as the conservation easement property next door to the Ag Center, I have been in touch with the Georgia-Alabama Land Trust. I have been in touch with the Berry family. They're in agreement that this is really important. Their renter right there, Mr. Lowry, keeps his 3 incredibly large Angus bulls on that corner property. And that has a lot to do with his livelihood. When he doesn't have those with his cattle year round, he's got to put them in that corner to keep everybody safe. So when it's not breeding season, that's where those 3 large bulls live. We certainly don't want a teenage boy to get a wild hair and think they want to go and mess with those big bulls and get killed. So again, this is about safety. We are working well together. We've had a lot of conversations. We're trying to come up with an agreement that we can figure this out, and I think that we really can. We just kind of got strapped for time, to be quite honest. We're on the cusp of something, but basically I'm here to ask that you recommend a fence along that entire southern border to be a contingency of the development, and I think we'll be able to move forward. So thank you all very much.
Anyone else here to speak in opposition? I now close the public hearing. I'll entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve this with the removal of the fence stipulation.
Have a motion to approve with the removal of the fence stipulation.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I've got a couple of questions. What is the proposed density of this? How many units are you looking at here?
300. Right now, we're right around 390.
Okay. So, in a smaller development, we had the suggestion or recommendation of 2 access points. This is an access point on a private property. I think if there's any stipulation, it needs to be maybe that there's a second, that we know that there's a second access point. I know it is on this proposed plan, but I would think that we've already been told that that was what they would like on a smaller development, so I would think we would need a second access. I mean, you've got options, so it's not like you're onto a private property, so right. That's a private road. And I guess the only other question I had, is the mall fenced?
Huh?
Is the mall fenced? Okay.
Well, no, I mean, the question that I would have, what is the budget for the Ag Center?
Right now, we're looking at a total of about $21 million to completion.
I'm somewhere between very conservative and libertarian. And I'm going to tell you why people hate government. Because you need to build your own fence. We've got a lot of cattle farmers in Floyd County. And if every cattle farmer got out there and told every neighbor, you need to build a fence around your property to protect my cows, we'd have people getting shot.
I think that is a misunderstanding, and I apologize.
Build your own
We do
fence.
plan to build a livestock fence. Georgia is being a fence center.
This man is going to be capital investment of your project. How much? 75 million. You're going to be paying taxes, creating jobs, I assume. So, just as a taxpayer, I appreciate people like you because you create jobs and you pay taxes. And you're bringing the kind of growth that we have asked for in this community for a long time. We put together a housing summit back in 2019, 2020, and we said we're open for business. We want people to bring housing here. And our population between 2000 and 2020 grew less than 5%. All of a sudden, we've got houses coming. And we've got a lot of population, and we've got a lot of problems with it. Sometime, my buddy Bill Collins and I have talked about this a lot lately. We're going to have more growth than we can handle. And we're going to have to sit around the table and say, where are we going to put all these kids? Where are we going to hire more policemen? What are we going to do about the traffic? I don't think we're there yet, but we're getting there. So we're doing it because people who have money are investing in our community. Sometimes we're doing it with government. A lot of times we're doing it in spite of government. I want government to get out of the way of what we're doing. So the recommendation that Commissioner Robinson made to remove the restriction on the fence, I think is a very wise motion. And if the county wants to build a fence around their Ag Center, I support that 100%. I cannot wait to see what this Ag Center is going to look like. We all can't wait to see what it's going to look like. With $21 million, you can build a heck of a fence. But you don't need to build a fence to protect those cows. That's just what I think. If no one has anything else.
You mind if I go back to ask my question about the access?
Yeah, what?
I'd like to ask my question about the access. I mean, what, is this permanent easement? Is this, I mean, how is that?
So we have an agreement with the mall. It is being documented now that we would access as a secondary access.
Right.
To the mall property. There's been some conversation, potentially making that road, public access at some point in time. But, that's our secondary access point. There's not enough room to access Old Dalton Road. The university has a house on that property there, so there's not enough room to access Old Dalton.
If I could say one quick thing, and I think, Chuck, you're very aware of this, what I'm about to say. Property in Cartersville that we have we had a private road. It was designated private road for public use, which is basically what you're saying. And, I mean, it was just for public use at any time, but it was actually a private road, so.
Bryce, has there been any discussion about that access?
The developer and I have discussed it, but,
Okay.
I mean, nothing formal.
What can we do formal to make sure that that access is? I mean, I just think it was just pointed out, that's a concern in the last.
Attorney put it in the deed down there, that it was.
As far as making the access public?
A permanent, I guess it would be an easement, but the problem is, if you get an easement and they decide to take the road up, I don't know what you've got.
No, we would acquire the property. We would acquire that portion of the property to the mall. So you're
Right,
saying
but my
if the
point
mall
is,
road came out,
yeah, my point is that the mall could do away with that road, and you would have access to just a piece of property.
well, there's another potential access without opening Pandora's box, but it doesn't seem like we can get past that hurdle. And that's on the connector route. There's, fortunately or unfortunately, there's a full access built there. But because it's owned by a different property owner, and they don't seem to be willing to consider us utilizing that access point, we're really limited as to a secondary access.
Answered my question because I was wondering why it was in safety, it was an issue by building a fence, but Mayor McDaniel answered my question.
Commissioner Brock, do you want to amend the motion?
I think it needs to have we need to be assured that there's a second access.
Even if it's the mall?
So if the mall cuts them off, the mall cuts them off, then they've got I don't know, that's kind of what I'm saying. I don't know the best way to handle that. We're trying to get them a second access out of there, but it's access on a private drive. So that private drive could go away.
I don't see how the client or this commission can answer that question. They don't own the road. The mall do, and the mall's not here being represented.
Well, the point is, we can make sure that this motion has that this property has a second access point. We have heard from the fire marshal that fewer units, they want a second access. And I just think we need to be assured that there is one.
Bryce, was that along the lines that you was talking to the mall and them about for this access?
I have not spoken to the mall, let me clarify. I've spoken to the developer.
Is that what you understand coming from the fire department?
They typically, yes, with this many units, they would prefer multiple points of access.
There was just a letter read that said that.
I think the commissioner has a valid point.
I mean, if they've got it, then we can get it in the agreement. I don't know how that's structured. Any advice on how that is structured?
So Commissioner, let me make sure I understand. So I guess one idea is to simply apply a condition that the property be developed with 2 points of access.
Permanent.
You don't necessarily care if it's the mall, if it's Old Dalton, or if they were to get access across a conservation easement. So if that's the commission's desire, then I think that could be added as a motion, and then you're not handcuffing the developer on how he's going to have to figure that out or make him hostage to some negotiation he may not want to be part of.
So just out of curiosity, did we get any feedback from the fire or did this second access satisfy them? And did they know that access is on a private drive, not a public right-of-way?
They did not express any concern, and yes, they were aware of it. They did.
But I mean, do they know that road's a private?
Yes.
Okay.
Commissioner Brock, do you want to amend the motion?
I just asked, how does it need to be amended to assure that we have a second access point?
Samuel,
Would anybody like to?
if that property is sold over at the mall, could they actually close that?
Well, if it's got a permanent easement, they can't, but they can take that road and, you know, they can build a, whatever on it. I mean, they can do away with that road. That's my concern. You've got access to a private drive that is not permanent. You can have a permanent easement.
Do you think the mall will give you in writing that if they decide to sell that property, they would sell you that road or?
So we're talking about the connection point, we're talking about access back out to Old Dalton.
Right.
The other thoroughfares. I mean, it can be brought up in discussion. You know, I'm assuming that we progress with our plans and go back to all the respective departments for final sign off. We're going to address this again, file, to ultimately satisfy any concerns they might have. I'm sure we can bring up that discussion. So essentially, we're talking the proposed secondary accesses going back out to Old Dalton to get that portion dedicated or perpetual easement,
Yeah.
right?
I would think you'd want an easement from there to Old Dalton. I mean, wouldn't that be the only way?
I think that's your shortest.
It's not
point
just,
of-
yeah.
Yeah, shortest point.
Otherwise you go next
We
to,
haven't had that discussion.
otherwise you go next to the house back to Old Dalton. And there's 60 feet, I mean, there's,
Yes. Unfortunately, there's wetlands there. It's very tight.
well, sound like you have one option there.
So Harry, what are you going to do?
Well, I think they need to have a second access. Joe, anybody want to tell me how that motion needs to be made? Need to be assured that there's a second access.
Well, I'm assuming you can make a motion to require a second access point and leave them up to determine particularly what access point that is.
We just looked at the Ag Center.
I would add to request a second access to meet the fire marshal stipulation.
That's not our issue. That's not my issue.
I'm just saying that that's what they decided to.
What's their
Put a
timeline?
condition on rezoning.
What is their timeline? What's y'all's timeline? So besides this approval, what approval are you waiting on?
Well, won't that take place, that'll be addressed when the formal plans are submitted. We're just doing rezoning right now. We're not really approving a development plan. Won't that, will all have to be taken in account then? No, we're just rezoning the property. We're not rezoning it conditionally. Yeah.
So, and I agree with Commissioner Brock, but I don't understand why we can't make that a condition. I don't understand it when we're being consistent.
You can make it.
I just wanted to make sure, because that's
All
not
you
what,
gotta do is ask
it's
for
not
the
what I'm
condition to
hearing.
be placed on this man's motion.
I'm just asking, because that's
That
not
what
what
you're
I
saying?
heard.
I would like for a condition to be placed on here to have a permanent easement, a permanent second access point, whether that be an easement to Old Dalton Road across the mall property or through the existing Berry property, a second access.
Now, that's whether Wayne won't accept that or not.
No, I'll accept that if you want to place that on the motion. I'll accept that. Because I know fire marshal's going to require something, and that can be worked out after the plans are submitted.
So can you?
Yeah, so I'll make a motion that we approve it with no fence, but condition that there is a second access point to the property. Permanent access point to the property.
We have an amended motion. I need a second for that amended motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion?
I'm going to have to recuse myself. While I'm not a part of this project, I am on retainer with the city, with Barry, so.
Got one recusal. Mr. Clerk, call the roll.
Commissioner Bojo,
Yes.
Brock,
Yes.
Beeman,
Yes.
Doss,
Yes.
Quick,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Thank you. Vice, ding-a-lingy, you know. You did a great job.
Very efficient.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Last meeting of the year. I hope Santa Claus is good to you. All right, Mr. Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have a couple of announcements. First, the City of Rome administrative offices will be closed for the Christmas holidays on Wednesday, December 24th, Thursday, December 25th, and Friday, December 26th. Those interested in garbage service, our garbage routes for Monday, Tuesday, and Friday will be serviced as normal. Thursday's garbage, yard waste, and recycling will be serviced on Wednesday. And Walker Mountain Landfill is going to be closed on both December 24 and December 25. Moving along, we will also have the administrative offices closed for the New Year's holiday on Thursday, January 1st, 2026. Again, garbage routes for Monday, Tuesday, and Friday will be serviced as normal. Thursday's garbage, yard waste, and recycling will be serviced on Wednesday. The Walker Mountain Landfill will be closed on Thursday, January 1st, 2026. And, Mr. Mayor, I would just take a moment to congratulate both Commissioner Doss and Commissioner Quick on their service to the City of Rome. My time here as city manager, I've spent a lot of time with you two gentlemen, and it's been a privilege to work for you and to work with you, and I wish you both the best in your future endeavors, and I would just wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. And that concludes my report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sammy.
Thank you.
Under my time, the Rome Florida Development Authority will meet on Tuesday, December the 16th at 9 a.m. at 800 Broad Street. Commissioner Bojo.
Yes, sir. The only thing I've got, water and sewer, as we discussed down in caucus, to approve a contract for fail-safe gates to the company of JHC Corporation. They will put the gates up on the Avenue A properties at a cost of $686,000, and we had budgeted $750,000 for that to be done. So actually, we saved about $64,000 in by that contract right there, and I ask you that we approve this.
Second?
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Carried.
Nice.
That's a little different.
All right, Commissioner Brock.
No report.
Commissioner Cochran.
Historic Preservation Committee will meet on Wednesday, December the 17th at 2:30 p.m. in the Commission Chambers. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Beeman.
Don't have a report, but I do have comments for the two commissioners that are leaving us. My first time running as a city commissioner, we were all on the same ticket. I was the first name called. I mean, it was the first person on the ballot, but the last name called. That was my first term. And when I came in, both of you treated me with the utmost respect, and I gave it. And I appreciate that. I appreciate your leadership. I appreciate your kindness. And I appreciate your ability to serve the city. Now, the second time we ran, all three of us was on the ballot. And I was the only incumbent that came back in. But I got excited because I prayed and I prayed and I prayed and I asked God to use his vessels that he chose. And he did. And then I asked him to use the people to be able to use their voices of what they wanted. And they spoke. And then I wanted to say that every time a door closes, another opens So I don't know how God is getting ready to use you, but he's gonna use you. But my prayer is that when Jill Fisher, Elena Beeman, and Victor Hickson comes into this council now, or this commission, to serve not only the people, but to represent this one body, that you'll still be there to cheer us on, to lead us on, and to be there to be a mentor for us when we need you. God is not through with this city. God is not through with this commission, but a change is coming. And I thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Beeman. Certainly, I don't look at this change as a funeral.
It's not.
It's a celebration.
It is.
And you're going to get some new blood and young commissioners that are eager to serve. And I appreciate your remarks.
Thank you.
Commissioner Doss, you're up.
So the first thing under Committee on Committees, I'll make a motion to appoint today Commissioner Randy Quick to the Rome Planning Commission.
I'll second.
I have a motion and second. Any discussion?
I do want to say that there's a lot of people who had comments about how do we select people who serve on our committees. And I think that there needs to be a change of how, if the people who are going to lead us are voted in for us and they represent us, and we have so many people sitting on a committee, I think we need to go back in and change our process of how we recommend people without all of us being able to talk about and discuss the people that represent us on the committee. And that's my comment.
Any other discussion? Mr. Clerk, call the roll.
Commissioner Bojo?
Yes.
Brock?
Yes.
Cochran?
Yes.
Beeman?
Yes.
Dawes?
Yes.
Collins?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
So next, I'll go quickly. We heard again from Kumamoto that they are still planning to send their mayor to Rome next year. And they understand that we're going to have a new commission starting in January. And at that time, our new commission can sit down with the folks from Kumamoto and make some decisions. And also, I wanted to say this last trip to Kumamoto, to put it bluntly, we salvaged that sister city relationship, and I want to thank the mayor and the pro tem and Meredith for making that commitment. And then moving on to, it's not listed, but the mayor asked myself, Commissioner Cochran, and Commissioner Robinson to study parks and recreation. And so throughout the year, we met a few times, and the first thing we determined as a special committee is the city of Rome does not need to get into the recreation program business. We've got some great partners in the community, the Boys and Girls Club, the YMCA, and there are others that do a fantastic job. But where we saw an opportunity is with our parks. And our parks are very important to our city, not only our neighborhood parks, but our community parks. And we just opened a new community park, Bandy Jones. It is a fantastic community park. Ridge Ferry Park, there's always a lot of people at Ridge Ferry Park. It's, quite frankly, it's overused. But it's the proximity to our downtown, and with all the other activities, the tennis center, these new developments, the reverse osmosis, our new police department, that is a critical community park. And this group, and Commissioner Cochran and Commissioner Robinson, you know, they think outside the box, and we I can't talk about it tonight, but we talked about some pretty grand things that would really change our city. And when I say change, it would improve the quality of life in the city of Rome. And I'm excited that the new commission will look into this new change and present it next year. And that is my report. Thank you.
Thank you. And Commissioner Doss, I want to tell you, I appreciate the job that you and Commissioner Cochran and Commissioner Robinson did. I think Commissioner Collins for serving on the Parks and Rec Board. I think what we've seen over the past couple of years is a change of attitude a little bit about parks within the city from a county standpoint. We don't want to be in the rec business. We don't want to be in the competitive sports business. But the parks that are in the city, I think we're all in agreement that we can do a better job than what's been done. We got to take it seriously. We met with Sammy. I think Sammy has a plan that after the first of the year, when the new commissioners get on board, Sammy can maybe at a retreat make a presentation, and it's something that it will benefit the city. And everybody has worked hard on that, and I think it's something that we need to take to heart because it benefits the kids. It's the one thing that we can say it really benefits kids.
Well, it will benefit everyone in the greater Rome area. And the big part of it is it will improve the quality of life in our city. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Quick.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I lost my place. The Rome Floyd County Planning Commission will meet Thursday, January 8th, 2:30 p.m. here in the commission chambers. And as we look forward, as we move forward, Jill, Elena, Vic, always know that we've got your backs. We really do. And we will work with you. We will help you. If you have a question, if there is anything you need, we're always going to be there. Because at the end of the day, we share one thing in common. We're all Romans. We all believe in this city. We want this city to be the best it can be, not for what is sitting in this room here, but the children and their children, all looking forward and building a community that we can be very proud of. And I thank you all. I mean, I thank you for this opportunity. I thank you, all my fellow commissioners, for giving me the opportunity to do something that has been the best 8 years of my life. So we got your back. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Collins.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would report that the Rome Floyd Park and Recreation will meet December the 16th at 12 noon in the Thornton Center. And as far as my comments behind what Commissioner Doss just made mention of, I differ with him on several areas when you're talking about dumping recreation. We have 4 sides of town in the city of Rome, and each one of them has challenge areas. The city of Rome, and I've been here for a great long while, has never been interested in putting a great deal of money to join with the county as far as creating opportunities like a indoor basketball court for our challenged kids to be able to walk to. We can't walk to Nottingham County Recreation Department, Thornton. Where would you say that's at, James?
Thornton? Thornton Center's out.
Merchant.
Absolutely. Where would you say the one that's in, let's say, Lindale is at?
The Gilrery?
Is it? Yes.
Yeah, I know where it is.
All of these entities, our young people that live in these challenge areas would love to have opportunity to play basketball in the warm. All of them would love to have the opportunity to play baseball. And so you're saying to us, all this, you're going to turn over, Mr. Manager, to the county?
No, we didn't say that.
Well, you're saying the city's not interested in having recreation. What are we saying? So we don't get the opportunity to enjoy the same amenities that the county kids get to. Already our young folks is having to travel to Garden Lakes to play basketball, and they go to city schools. Already, I went to a basketball game that my granddaughter played for, had to go all the way to a merchant. And we have to wait long hours to stay out there on school nights. We don't have a single anything having to do with recreation for our young Afro-Americans and poor whites or whatever challenged areas in our city. And you're talking about abandoning it?
No, we're not talking about abandoning
It
it.
sounds like it is.
We're talking about evolving.
Leaving it alone.
Talking about what?
The recreation side of it, leave it alone. Let them run it.
That's what we've been doing all along. It just hadn't been told to us. It's nothing but about, what, $50,000 in our budget? If you pull that budget up each year, what can that buy? Barely a basketball.
North Heights and Anna K. Davies sit vacant.
Absolutely it does. And have we made the effort to get those doors open in our own neighborhood? No.
I've talked about it for a long time. It drives me crazy. We save gyms, but we don't let people use
I
them.
hope it drives you crazy enough that we won't let it continue to be that way. That's all I'm saying. So I
Commissioner,
wouldn't be in agreement with that.
Commissioner Collins, I just wanted to share too that, Sammy, that everybody loves the park in East Rome. In East Rome on Maple Street, but they're complaining about how dark it is. The park is lit up, but the streets are dark down Maple at night. So when the time changes, you can't really you see the park with all the lights, but going down Maple Street, you see nothing but darkness.
Not good.
Just want y'all to think about that too.
It could be vandal or anything.
I would just say this discussion can take a new life next year. And I can tell you our group, I thought, really worked well together. And we heard from some of the partners, the Boys and Girls Club and the YMCA and their others that do a fantastic job. And I think if the city wants to get more involved with programs for these challenge areas, I think you should look at it. And
Absolutely.
Remember, we did lose programs in these challenged areas. Just want to keep bringing that up.
that's my report. Thank you.
No, I think it's still on Bill Collins.
I'm trying to help you.
No, I'm not at this chair seeking help other than a listening ear. Sometimes I wonder why am I still here, and I think it's because of moments like this. I'm not just preaching to this here commission. I hope it's a listening ear out there. These people that live in these communities are being like just shoved back. It's not fair to them to not have the opportunity to have a warm gym to play in the winter. It's not fair to them to be able to go to a field that's in the city of Rome that's lined off so they can practice baseball. It's like every part having to do with recreation is a dollar sign attached to it. And these folks, that's just not how me and the mayor grew up. It is not. Thank you.
Commissioner Robinson?
I have two announcements. The Alcohol Control Commission meeting will be on Wednesday, December the 17th, 5 o'clock, right here in the Commission chambers. And the Downtown Development Authority will meet Thursday, January the 8th at 8:30 in the Milner Building. And the last thing I just want to say is to Randy and Jamie is I only got to serve 2 years, but it was a great 2 years.
Thank you, Wayne.
And you're not only my fellow commissioner, but you're my
Thank you so much.
be missed when I look down to my right and I don't see you guys. Thank you for all you've done.
Now you got the best hair, man.
That's right. Now I got the best hair. That's right.
Before we close, tomorrow night is our Christmas get-together. Hope everybody can come. And this has been a long year. Jamie Doss told me, he said, no, the third year that you're the mayor is going to be your hardest year. And I didn't know what he meant. And John Bennett told me when I got on the city commission, he said, I want you to write down all the friends you got. He said, at the end of the first year, go back and look at that list. You're not going to have that many friends. And both of those guys were right. And, but let's get together tomorrow night. It's been an honor to serve as mayor of the city of Rome. I have officially fired myself. We're going to have a new mayor next year. And I got 2 more years on the city commission, and I will not be running for a third term. It's a blessing to live in Rome, Georgia. I've been here for 72 years. It's a blessing to live in this community. I've done things, my mom and dad have been gone for a while now, and I've done some things that they would never have believed. I've done some things I don't want them to know about, but it's been a great opportunity to be in this community, and I've been able to serve with people that are a lot better and a lot smarter than I am, and I'm blessed every day. Thank you.